Whether you memorize a script or read from one, or use a few notes, or don't use any notes at all, a talk that is well prepared and passionately delivered will always impact an audience. But what does delivering a talk passionately look like? It's time to find your voice. Here's a radical question. Why bother to give a talk? Why not simply email the script to every potential member of the audience? One of the special things about TED is that it shows how talks can offer something more than printed words. But that doesn't just happen automatically. Not every talk offers something extra. That something extra has to be thought about, invested in, and developed. It has to be earned. What is that something extra? It's our humanity. Our humanity turns information into inspiration. Here are some of the things the human layer can bring to a text. Connection. I trust this person. Engagement. Every sentence sounds so interesting. Curiosity. I hear it in your voice and see it in your face. Understanding. The emphasis on that word with that hand gesture, now I get it. Empathy. I can tell how much that hurt you. Excitement. Wow, that passion is infectious. Conviction. Such determination in those eyes. Action. I want to be on your team. Sign me up. Together, these things create inspiration. We think of inspiration as the force that tells the brain what to do with a new idea. Many ideas just get filed away and probably soon forgotten. Inspiration, on the other hand, sets off our mind's attention alert system. There are two major things to consider when preparing a talk for an audience. The first is, what am I doing with my voice? And the second is, what am I doing with my body? Speak with meaning. Listen to the opening minute of the TED Talk by George Monbiot.
When I was a young man, I spent 6 years of wild adventure in the tropics, working as an investigative journalist in some of the most bewitching parts of the world. I was as reckless and foolish as only young men can be. This is why wars get fought. But I also felt more alive than I've ever done since. And when I came home, I found the scope of my existence gradually diminishing until loading the dishwasher seemed like an interesting challenge. And I found myself sort of scratching at the walls of life, as if I was trying to find a way out into a wider space beyond. I was, I believe, ecologically bored.
When you hear Monbiot speak, you find yourself pulled into his world. He uses his voice in a way that adds meaning to every word he says. That's something you wouldn't get if you read his script in a book. His words are interesting, but it's the way he says them that gives his audience a feeling of curiosity and astonishment. How does he do this? The key to being an exciting speaker is to create variety in the way you speak. Variety based on the meaning you're trying to get across. So many speakers forget this. They give a talk in which every sentence sounds the same, with a slight rise at the start and a drop at the end. There are no pauses or changes of pace. This communicates that no single part of a talk matters more than any other part. It's just the same thing over and over again until the end. Listening to a talk like this can feel like being hypnotized. That is, it puts an audience to sleep. If your talk is scripted, try this. Find the most important 2 or 3 words in each sentence and underline them. Then look for the one word in each paragraph that really matters and underline it twice. If there are bits that are lighthearted or playful, run a wavy pencil line under those. Look for every question mark and highlight it with a yellow highlighter. Find the single biggest aha moment in the whole talk and put a great big black blob right before it. If there's a joke or a funny story, put little pink dots above it. Now, try reading your script, making sure to change your voice in response to each mark. For example, let yourself laugh a little while looking at the pink dots. Pause for the big black blob. And speed up a bit for the wavy pencil line. Or speak more softly. How does that sound? Now try one more thing. Remember all the emotions associated with each section of your talk. Which bits are you most passionate about? Which issues make you angry? What makes you laugh? What confuses you? Read your talk again, letting those emotions out a little as you speak. Try doing this with a friend. See what she responds to or what she rolls her eyes at. Record yourself reading your talk, then play it back with your eyes closed. How's it sounding? Don't struggle to add variety to your voice when that doesn't feel right to you. Let it come naturally from the passion you feel for your idea. You want to sound like yourself, expressing curiosity and excitement when it's appropriate. You know the voice you use when you're catching up with friends or family members you haven't seen in a while? That's the kind of voice you'll want to use to present your talk. Real, natural, and unafraid to let it rip if what you're saying demands it. It's important to use your body, too. Sometimes, a speaker will give the impression that his body is only there to carry his head onto the stage. Once in front of the audience, the body no longer knows what to do with itself. It stands awkwardly, hands glued to its side, or sways back and forth from one leg to the other. But there are a few things you can think about that may help you feel more comfortable on stage and make you seem more confident to your audience. The simplest way to present a talk powerfully is just to stand tall. Put equal weight on both your feet, keeping your feet a few inches apart. Use your hands and arms to naturally emphasize whatever it is you're saying. This is enough to signal to the audience that you're calm and that you know what you're talking about. This is the method used by a majority of TED speakers. The key is to feel relaxed and to let your upper body move freely. Good posture helps. Avoid slouching your shoulders forward. Standing so openly may feel vulnerable, but that vulnerability can be nice for an audience to see. Some speakers prefer to walk the stage. It helps them think. It helps them emphasize key moments, and this is important, they frequently stop to dwell on important points. It's that change in rhythm that makes the walking method work. Constant pacing without a change in rhythm can be tiring to watch. But pacing, broken up by moments of stillness, can be powerful. Something to avoid is nervously shifting from leg to leg, or walking forward and back a couple of steps in a kind of rocking motion. Many speakers do this without realizing it. They may be feeling a little anxious, and shifting from one leg to the other eases their discomfort. But from the audience's point of view, it actually highlights that discomfort. The difference between a speaker who rocks back and forth and a speaker who finds stillness can be huge for an audience. So, move if you want to, but only move if you can move with purpose. Then, when you want to emphasize a point, stop moving and address your audience from a stance of calm power. There are plenty of other ways you can speak with power, too. Dame Stephanie Shirley chose to sit for her talk, using a metal stool with one foot tucked back on a rung and notes in her lap. It looked relaxed and natural. The late great neurologist Oliver Sacks also sat for his talk. Clifford Stoll leapt and darted around the stage with such energy it added an entirely new and unique flavor to his talk. So there are no rules. You just have to find a way of being on stage that makes you feel comfortable and confident, and that doesn't distract from what you're saying. The simple test is to rehearse in front of a small audience and ask them if your body language is getting in the way of your message. Or record yourself speaking and watch it back to see if you're doing anything you didn't know you were doing with your body. There's a place in the world for all types of presentation styles. Just make sure your body knows it's not just there to carry your head around. It's allowed to enjoy its time on stage. Do it your way. Don't try to be someone else. Focus on your idea and your passion for it. And don't be afraid to let your own personality shine through. This is one of the first steps in forming a trusting bond with your audience, which is exactly what we focus on in our next video. Check it out.